Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are with another study of the book Green Light by the Spirit Andrea Luiz through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. And today we're going to be talking about preoccupations. How many times we spend our days worrying about things, preoccupied with the preoccupation of the need to be worried. And that's exactly what Andrea Luiz is going to bring to us today. So for those who are joining me live or on demand, we're pretty much halfway through the book. So this would be episode 26 because we discussed the preface of the book as well. But chapter 25 is about preoccupation. So let's see what Andrea Luiz has for our reflection this morning. He says, quote, "Do not worry in advance, as life in the present can possibly resolve your problem without any effort from you." Unquote. So this is a relatively longer chapter than the other ones, and we have to stop. Because how many of us worry in advance? Being prepared, making a plan, dreaming about what we're going to do and how to accomplish our goals is one thing. But perhaps I'm here today doing this study, and I'm going to use first person so that nobody feels attacked. But how many times we are doing something, and instead of focusing on the task at hand, which is giving you this information and receiving the inspiration from the spirits on what to say, I might be thinking about what's for lunch, on how I'm going to get to and from work, all of the things we do. How many times, if we are being very honest, because the point of this studying of spiritist content is to bring the teachings to our daily lives. So how many times we are not present? Many times, if you are honest, and we start making accounts and catching ourselves either in the future, thinking about what's to come, or worrying about what happened. Which, not to say we shouldn't reflect on what happened. That's what question 919 of the Spirit's book tells us about self-knowledge. So St. Augustine reminds us of the daily reflections we need to do. But how much effort could make today in order to be more mindfully present? And that's when meditation can help. That's when visualizations can help. That's when yoga can help. Anything that brings us walking in nature that can help us to be present with the body, with the breath, and with whatever task you're doing at hand. Because it says, don't worry in advance, because sometimes we worry about something that might come, and then if we are focusing on the moment, and he's going to talk about what to do to focus on the moment and the rest of the message, perhaps life will resolve, the problem will resolve itself. And we worried and worried and worried, and then now we're in the category of wasting time that we could be doing something else. He says, it's not the preoccupation that destroys the person, but the worrying as a result of being worried. So now we are preoccupied about being worried about something. So that's the worrying about that. I will worry about my trip in the summer. So that's what can bring to us sickness. He says, before your present difficulties, who doesn't have them, right? You faced innumerable other problems. And with the invisible help of God, you overcame all of them. Okay, so maybe we're having difficulties today. We're worrying about how to go about them. Let's look back. And he says, many other problems you and I have overcome, and we overcome them with the invisible help of God. Let's meditate. God is helping you and I every moment with the visible help. Maybe someone comes to our home, maybe someone calls us and texts us, perhaps, more likely, we are open and able to have the inspiration from our mentors and spirit guides, or the inspiration of the mentors and guides of others who we're having conflict with. How many times and how much invisible help we are receiving right now. And that's when we come to count our blessings. He will continue. Quote, a person who is busy serving will never have time to talk about slander or ingratitude. So we need to busy, unquote, we need to busy ourselves with service. Service, not with just words, which can be service when we are kind to others, when we model what to do in difficult situations, when we pray for others, is all service. But when we say we value something, let's put the words and the actions together. I say I want my Spirit Center to prosper, but I don't donate money. I want to have the meetings, but I don't donate for the rent. Or I've envisioned that after I passed, the Spiritist group would be there, but I'm not volunteering to teach. I'm not volunteering to do the service in the community. I have a talent, but I don't offer to use it. So my words are beautiful, but my service is not there. And so what if I'm busy with the service? If I offer to clean, to distribute the water, to find a book, translate a message, and do a talk once a month, I'm not putting the words with the action. A person who is busy serving doesn't have time to worry with slander. If we are volunteering, if we're taking care of our own business, we don't have time to worry about what's happening with others. And then we are more able to use that time and energy for the good of the community. Not just the Spiritist community, but your home community, your city, your state, and ultimately your country. Work before, during, and after any crisis so that the work can guarantee your peace. So if we are today facing a crisis, we reach out for help, psychological help, emotional help, spiritual help, medical help. Then we are able to be humble enough to understand I need help, because we all do at different times in our lives. But we continue to do the work. Even science knows this. The science of service, volunteerism, can tell you when we go out in the world and serve, it lessens our burdens. It helps us to overcome the challenges that we have in this life. Now, the part that we should be doing every day, as much as the spirits tell us in the Spirit's book, that we need to pray in the morning when we wake up and thank for another day, for hours, and before we pray and we thank everything we had. And we also pray for an opportunity to serve at night. He says, quote, count the blessings which enrich your life, a gratitude journal. Write down right now, or mentally think, if you're doing something you can stop. Think about 3 things that you're grateful for today. I will start by saying your breath, the physical body you have, no matter what challenges you're having with it, the roof over your head, the material resources to be that I have here, from the microphone to the stand to the computer, that allows me to bring these teachings to you and to myself, because all of the hosts are also learners. We have to think about the folks in the spiritist movement as people who are learning as well, not as gurus, right? Then he continues, quote, then compare, so you counted the blessings, then compare the blessings to the evils that perhaps visit your heart, and you will recognize an enormous balance of advantages in your favor. So if we were to sit down and stop focusing on the negative over the lack we have, oh, I don't have a nicer car, a bigger house, more clothes, more vacation. If we focus on what we have, he says, the balance will be towards the blessing. Just to have a physical body and be reincarnated on this world that is challenging is a blessing. In these books of Andrea Luiz and Emmanuel, we learn that the line waiting for reincarnatory opportunities is long. So if you are reincarnated, you are blessed. So let's count that blessing as well. He says, usually, quote, usually evil is a misunderstanding of goodness. Evil is the good poorly interpreted, if you are translating it in a different manner. We do say, the spirits do say in the Spirit's book, third part, that when we do something, we need to align it with the divine law. So good is alignment with divine law, and evil is when we are not aligned. So there's no neutral. Either we are doing the good or we're not doing the good. So let's choose the good. And he, last but not least, he will say, quote, no matter how hard are your trials, remember that God, who supported you yesterday, who withstood, another way to say is that withstood the weight of the trials with you, will support and hold that weight with you today as well. So the invisible help of God in our lives is everlasting and endless. So today we think about our trials, we reflect on our blessings, we are thankful for the opportunity of being here, and then we move on and we work and we serve and we align our desires in our hearts. So we talked about last week, seek and you'll find, with the actions that bring coherence to with those desires. So we say we want something, then we go and align our actions with the achievement of those goals, and we count our blessings, we continue to work, we seek help, we support one another, because ultimately God is with you, God is within us, God is supporting us and giving this help each and every day. Isn't that a blessing to know of this on this Thursday morning and when this first airs? And of course, any day of the week if you're watching this on demand at another time. Therefore, friends, I thank you for joining me today. And it's a blessing to be with you as always. May you stay well. May you stay safe. And between now and the next time we meet, God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another chapter of the book, Green Light, by the Spirit, Andrea Luiz, through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. Have a blessed day.